wislawhelp.org is receiving the Pro Bono Organization of the Year award. Spearheaded by Judicare Legal Aid, wislawhelp.org has transformed the way people connect with legal assistance. This innovative platform functions as a statewide triage and referral system, making it easier and more efficient for individuals to assess the legal help they need. It simplifies the process of finding legal aid by providing clear, user-friendly access to resources and referrals for a variety of legal issues, including housing, family law, consumer rights, and more. Please join me in honoring wislawhelp.org. Attorney Beth Ann Richland, Executive Director of Judicare Legal Aid, will be accepting the award.
I'm probably the crying executive director, so we're going to go with thanking first. Thought about that a lot, even before Judge Hendy mentioned it. We are accepting this award, but it takes a village, and it took a very large village to make this happen. We had a very dedicated stakeholder committee, and I actually want to name them all, the organizations, but to thank them because we couldn't have done it without them. And one of our largest thanks, of course, goes to Legal Action of Wisconsin. They not only were part of our original stakeholder committee, but they harnessed the power of their volunteer lawyers, one of which you just heard from. We were very much supported by the Legal Assistance Committee of the State Bar, Lift Wisconsin, Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinic, the Milwaukee Justice Center, the Wisconsin Law Library, the Wisconsin Access to Justice Commission, the Wisconsin Equal Justice Fund, and the UW Law Library. And that committee has been meeting religiously to keep making sure that this project goes forward, that the funding continues, and that the content that we're developing is well vetted, it is helpful, it is user-friendly, and that the tools that we continue to make are going to make a difference for pro se litigants across the state of Wisconsin. And we're very proud of that. And I also want to give just special shout out to Quarles and Brady, who has donated a lot of volunteer time also to vet these articles. In addition to a lot of individual volunteer attorneys, harnessing the power of that large firm has really been essential to making sure that the project doesn't stall. And then the Wisconsin Trust Account Foundation, who believed in us in a way, but we're skeptical about what this could do and how many people that this could reach. And I'm glad that we persuaded them and that they are a very proud partner and that they continue to work with us to raise money to fund the ongoing development of this site. And personally, this is my crying part, but I was a very young attorney on the Legal Assistance Committee at the State Bar, and I wanted to do something crazy. I wanted to start an online legal advice project. And the executive director of my organization at the time was a very wonderful woman named Rosemary Elbert. She was about 70 years old at the time. And I was like, look, I'm going to give people legal advice on the internet. And she was like, you are not, in fact, going to do that. And I worked really hard to persuade her, and she let me do it. And I started this very innovative project with the 10th District called the Northern Wisconsin Legal Advice Project that now has a much better, larger successor called Wisconsin Free Legal Answers. And I said to my colleague at the bar at the time, Jeff Brown, I said, Jeff, people keep asking the same questions over and over again. We should have a site. And he said, you know what, Beth, we already dreamed up this site. And the site's going to have this, and it's going to have that. And I was like, how come this site hasn't happened? And for many years, Jeff and I went to the bar, and the bar supported our idea. And we were very persistent. They gave us money every year in the budget. And it just needed a champion. It just needed somebody to pick it up and take it across the line. And I was never in the position to do that myself. I was a young legal aid attorney, giving that scandalous legal advice online. And in May of 2020, I became the executive director of Judicare Legal Aid. And I thought, I can do this. I have a place of power to make this happen. We can raise money. And along comes a young attorney who says, I worked at this really cool place in Michigan called MichiganLawHelp.org. And I said, we're all here. We are assembled. The power team is here, and we are going to make this happen. And I really want to thank you, Jeff Brown, because you were essential in the success of this project and ongoing, and you continue to be now in your role at WISTAF. And I really do think that without your support, this never would have happened. And we are so grateful, and we know that this tool is going to be amazing. It's going to continue to develop, and I hope that you will go and check it out. I hope you will refer people to it who you cannot help in civil legal cases. And I hope if you think that there's something wrong with it, that you tell us. Because we want to have a project that every lawyer in Wisconsin can be proud of. And that can help every Wisconsin resident navigate the courts when there aren't enough lawyers, there aren't enough assistance to help them. But we are very grateful for the award, and we appreciate it. We hope it elevates our site and that you go and check it out.